So I'm a CEO and founder of Innovation Factory Limited in the UK in England.
So you're a heavy sleeper?
Yeah, so the inspiration story behind the innovation is I'm a heavy sleeper. I was facing difficulties waking up in early morning for my classes in the university, so which impacting my education.
So if somebody came and wanted to steal your house at night, you would never wake up?
Absolutely, they are more than welcome to do it.
But how are you going to use the pillow as a way to wake you up? So basically you were doing AI work before AI was actually AI.
Exactly. You will be surprised from this statistic. In the UK, the government spend over £1 billion every year to clean up the graffiti.
Three, two, one. Mr. Anwar, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being a guest on this very impromptu podcast that was not prepared for at all.
My pleasure, yeah.
In any shape or form. I'm more than happy to have you here because when we met, I thought that you had a very interesting story, and I said it's only natural that I have a podcast with you, and I wasn't going to let you go without having a podcast. So we figured we'll just do it like this, and
I'm pleased with this.
yeah. Okay, good. So Anwar, I want to start off by asking you just to give us a brief on your background, where are you from, and what is it exactly that you are doing right now?
Good. So first of all, my name is Anwar Al Mojarkesh. I'm originally from Syria. I'm based in England at the moment. So my background is electrical and telecommunication engineer. What we do, so I'm a CEO and founder of Innovation Factory Limited. We are based in Birmingham in England. Innovation Factory.
Okay.
So I'm a CEO and founder of Innovation Factory Limited in the UK in England, and we develop non-speech sound classification algorithms to improve safety, security, and comfort.
Excellent. So basically, can you share with us a little bit about when you really started to do this, and what was the main source of inspiration? What was the main source, or what was the moment where you really started on this journey? What was the first invention that you did?
Absolutely. So it's a funny story. It came first to solve my problem, and then I realized that I can solve many problems. So the inspiration story behind the innovation is I'm a heavy sleeper, and I was facing difficulties waking up in early morning for my classes in the university, so which impacting my education.
So if somebody came and wanted to steal your house at night, you would never wake up?
Absolutely, they are more than welcome to do it. I can feel nothing. So the idea is when I use the alarm clock to set up the alarm on 8 or 7 a.m. in the morning. Unfortunately, I can't hear the alarm clock. Therefore, I always wake up so late for the morning classes, and I decided to improve the current alarm clock. So I enhanced it by adding small tank of water with a small pump connected with the battery with the whole system of the alarm clock.
Yeah.
And when you set it on 8 a.m., it's gonna splash water on you. So I tried the solution 3 times precisely, and it solved the problem very well. However, it creates another problem, so I was always wake up completely wet. So I was solving my problem, it just was good, and then I decided, okay, hold on, we have to improve the current solution. So I decided to use my pillow as
a way to wake you up.
Additionally, it's going to be more.
But how are you going to use the pillow as a way to wake you up?
So what I have done, the same alarm clock, I take a wire out of this alarm clock, connected inside the pillow with a small motor.
You're joking.
I took this motor from massage, this little device you use it for massage. I take it as is inside the pillow, and it was working. Surprise, it was working very well. At that moment, I realized that there are huge community. They are enabled to wake up in early mornings, and those are deaf and people with hearing loss. So the idea came first to solve my problem, and then
Yeah.
I realized that I can solve other people's problems.
Yeah. But how did you come to the realization that you can solve other people's problems?
So I feel as a heavy sleeper, you are sort of isolated, disconnected from your environment. Therefore, your hearing level is being sort of reduced, sort of, or impacted when you sleep. And then when I do this little research, deaf and hard of hearing, they have the same problems. Usually they put their smartphone under the pillow to do this vibration, but that is impacting their health, or maybe someone they might be wake them up because, like, you know, this having calls in middle of the night. So the idea is this pillow was relying on the alarm clock, okay?
Yes.
So I need to disconnect it from alarm clock and use your phone alarm. Use your smartphone. So
Okay.
what we have decided to move this innovation from the pillow to the smartphone. So this smartphone, everybody has smartphone, and everybody with this
So
smartphone.
basically, you wanted to take it from being wired to wireless.
Exactly. And convert or transfer your smartphone into assistive technology by using the built-in microphone in your device to analyze all the sounds around the user.
So what's the definition of assistive technology?
So basically, it's been designed for people with disability. It could be any sort of disability, blind people, deaf people, like mobility issues. And the main focus for this innovation is deaf and people with hearing loss. Of course, elderly people, they have some sort of hearing loss, so they will be included in this solution. So we start developing our own software, our own AI algorithm back in 2009. We have no idea this is called machine learning.
So basically, you were doing AI work before AI was actually AI.
Exactly.
So you were already in 2009, you were already basically doing a lot of machine learning before it was even a thing.
Absolutely. And we named this technology sound recognition platform or non-sound detection platform.
So
sort of.
I need to get some of the dates right. So basically in 2009, you were still in university, you were doing all of this, you started exploring all of the options. But my question is, at what point did you decide that you're going to do this full time?
Immediately after I graduated from the university, yeah.
Because you told me that
yeah.
you had a lot of problems graduating from university.
Absolutely.
You were failing classes because you were too busy inventing things and experimenting with your hand and stuff like that.
Yeah, it took me 7 years to finish my education.
Instead of what?
Instead of 5.
So 2 years you were just repeating things.
all my colleagues and friends in universities, they just been graduated and they start their own life, and I was like stuck in university. And it was funny because my dad paying for this education, and always I say to my dad, don't worry, I will compensate you someday. And that's what happened. I'm glad with that.
But okay, so when you graduated, you said 2009, right?
So I graduated at 2012.
2012, and you decided to do this full time. I am 100% sure that you were heavily criticized, probably maybe for this decision, because maybe everyone expected you to graduate and go join a company, go do the typical type of work. And so why did you feel like it was really the right thing to do this full time?
I think because I was believing in this. It's not about the technology, it's about what you are solving. It's a huge problem in this industry, on this, like loads of people, deaf people, they being disconnected. With this technology, you can save their lives because it's not limited only for detecting or
When was the first time that you realized that deaf people really need this? When was the first encounter with someone deaf that said, okay, you know what, this is actually something that can be really useful to me?
When we start reading or researching about the statistic that about 3% of the deaf population, they died because they can't hear the smoke alarms.
3% of the population where?
Mainly
Overall,
in the state.
In the States, they die because they can't hear
the alarm clock.
hear the smoke.
And some of these, these people, they can travel everywhere. I mean, imagine deaf people or deaf person is traveling somewhere, and he stays in the hotel.
So you put the invention out there online, or people started hearing about it, and then they reached out to you?
Yes.
Okay, amazing.
But before doing this, we start having small beta, like tester group, to get some feedback. Because myself, I'm not, I don't have sort of hearing loss or hearing difficulties.
Yeah.
It would be very challenging to design a system solving this problem. So I should have people facing these problems.
Yeah.
And then therefore I use their feedback to design the system. So we have to start this way. And this is what happened. We've got loads of people from deaf community, deaf schools, universities, asking us about like improvements. For example, one of the people work at McDonald's and he has difficulties to listen to the oven beeps and microwave once the fries is done.
Yeah.
So we customize a system that's able to capture this beep sounds on the phone. So his phone in his pocket, once the sound has been triggered, his phone will vibrate and the phone will tell him, okay, the fries is ready. And then you can expand the use case for people like at house as well. The meal is ready, the microwave is ready, etc. You know, so it's not limited only to a specific machine. And then the big plan is to improve safety for people because like smoke alarms, fire alarms, theft alarm, those are critical sounds. You should alert these people or build the bridge between them and these alarms in order to be more efficient.
Okay.
This is not only the indoor sound.
Now going back to the point where you decided that, you know what, I'm gonna do this the moment that I graduate from university, and this is something that I really want to be able to do full time. Was it really, how hard was it in the beginning, and did you face any challenges to get the company up and running, especially after you graduated, because it was something very new, very interesting, and probably for you also very scary?
Absolutely. There are a couple of challenges. The first challenge is from the family. I mean, usually when you graduate from university, you immediately looking for a job. And then you start have a sort of stability when you have like monthly income. Always my family being supportive during this journey. However, after the university, they said, okay, you should find a proper job in order so you can get married, you build family, etc. However, I said, no, I don't want to take that normal route or, like everybody is doing this. I need to do something completely different. I would love to take that risk because I was believing in the technology or the thing is I was building.
But what was the business model at that time? Who did you want to do this business?
To be honest, I had no idea about it. It was like just totally risk. And I was able to take it. What was how was I able to mitigate this risk? I won Stars of Science.
So you participated in the Stars of Science as soon as you graduated?
Yes. So at
Stars of Science, I think, can you just give us a brief idea about what
Stars of Science is an initiative from Qatar Foundation, and they were always looking for talented people with the great ideas that able to solve critical problems. And so basically is an accelerator program mixed with reality TV show. So you've got about 3 to 4 months and then they're gonna convert your idea from paper into tangible products. So you go through different phases. The first phase is proof of concept, prototyping, engineering, designing, and business model. So at that time, I was able to build a professional prototype in Qatar, and I was receiving loads of feedback, very promising feedback that I should continue with this.
Okay.
After Stars of Science, we received an investment offer from Czech investor via Skype.
Did you win the Stars of Science show?
So I won the 5th place.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I wasn't one of the top 4.
So the first 4 get award the prize money and then
some fun, some other further supports. However, I was happy with that because
it gave
without
you exposure.
But also that means I need to do something to be part of, how to say this, pushed me because I wasn't like from the top 4 as planned or as expected for my idea, and that able to motivate me enough to continue further with the development of this product. So going back to this Czech investor, he heard about us from Microsoft in Jordan because I was having sort of my training at Microsoft in Jordan, in Amman, and he was already one of the investors on Microsoft in Czech Republic. So he heard about us and he sent us an offer through Skype. I'm gonna invest you with this.
What was the offer?
So it was a small amount of money, about 60,000 euro.
For how much?
For 10%.
That's not bad at all.
We had
so he gave you a valuation of 600,000.
Yeah, it was very good. Especially we don't have any customers back then. They were only like basic prototype, so he believes in us and we able to secure that funding very quickly without signing any agreement up front.
Okay.
And we relocated to Czech Republic for 6 months. However, when we were in Czech Republic, we realized that this is a very small market. So it's not a good idea to continue.
So you lived in Czech Republic?
Yeah, in Prague for about 6 months.
Okay.
We start looking for deaf users.
Yes.
With testing, improving the products and the algorithm overall. And then, meanwhile, we received another offer from Finland in Helsinki for another accelerator program.
What was the offer then?
So it's about to relocate your business to Finland. Accelerator program for 3 months.
Okay.
Small funding to support you, and alongside with some business support, like some coaching, business, building your business model, etc. And we won the first place in Slush event in Finland, which is a big deal in Finland, Helsinki. Again, we went through the same problem.
You told me something very interesting about pitching ideas in the Scandinavian countries.
So that's.
I need you to share this with us.
As part of the Finnish community, they have, how to say, is like novel stuff they do, like usually with the startups. So sometimes you might be invited to a meeting with investor inside the sauna.
Inside the sauna?
Completely naked, and then you just pitch your idea.
Wait. Again, you're inside the sauna completely naked?
Completely naked, and just pitch your idea.
Another way of doing it is...
Another challenging approach is a big competition in the north of Finland, in a city called Ulo. This city is about -30, -40. So they have a frozen lake, and with the ladder, so you go downstairs, and then you put your body inside, so till here, and then you have a limited time to pitch your idea. Investors will be in front of you. You start pitching your idea.
Wait, so you get inside the cold water to pitch your idea and the investors, they're also sitting in ice cold water?
No, they are outside.
So they're outside, but
you're watching you.
They're watching you suffer while you pitch your idea.
Yeah.
And you have to pitch it in how long?
You don't have any limits. It's all about how long you're gonna stay in this frozen lake, pitching your idea perfectly. In general, even if this is like, ultimate environment, pitching your idea is going to be scary for the investors.
Yeah.
What about you are in this situation? It's going to be very difficult. So I remember my friend, one of my team member, went there. He lasted about 15-20 seconds.
Yeah.
And then he just went out quickly. He was shaking all the time. Danish people, Sweden.
You had to do that?
It was fun. It was a new experience for us.
But did you manage to pitch your idea while you?
Of course not. 15-20 seconds. We were barely introducing ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we just went out of the lake.
You couldn't do it.
Yeah. It was tough.
Yeah.
But it was good. A piece of PR. People know you.
So this was okay. So basically, you accepted the offer in Finland, and you went there, and you stayed there for how long?
It's about 3 months.
Yeah. And throughout all this period, you're still working with deaf people.
Yes.
Okay.
However, what changed at Finland? The idea is to have both hardware, a pillow, connected with a smartphone. Mm-hmm. The main focus changed to focus on your novel part, which is the smartphone, which is classifying the audio and the non-speech sounds around the deaf people. And then we received another offer in Denmark.
Okay.
That is going to be for 2 years. They provide us with accommodation, coaching, everything. But every time we go into new country, there's a huge problem with the population for the deaf, because the solution, we are targeting people with hearing loss, and in these countries they always like small community with these problems. Is about like thousands. That is going to be.
So it's not a big enough market for you to scale. It's not a big enough market for you to do all this work for a population that may not use it as much as you expected.
And to attract investors, for sure.
Right.
Investors won't invest on something that is going to have.
Because investors are looking for numbers, they're looking for revenue, they're looking for profits. So if it's a small business, obviously.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They're not good. So, but how are you getting all these offers if these countries or these governments or these accelerators, don't they already know that there's not enough market for it?
It was the interesting about how you able to convert your smartphone into piece of assistive technology.
Okay.
This is like, I would say,
So this was the main edge. This is what they were looking for, how to use the cell phone as a tool to help when it comes to assistive technology.
through sound detection.
Through sound
Because
detection.
at that time, there was no one able to do this.
This is what I want you to differentiate for me. So a lot of people be like, oh yeah, now we have a lot of, sound detection or speech, but you told me something very interesting. There's a huge difference between both, between speech and non-speech.
So absolutely. So speech is all relying on. It depends on your on speech. I mean, it's like a human.
Yes.
A human can do speech. When we do non-speech, mainly machines produce those sounds. Microwave beeping, doorbells, smoke alarms, those kind of audio, and. There are huge difference between those because non-speech, how you analyze non-speech is not based on specific frequencies, and it's always coming as sort of noises. You can't use speech recognition to classify them. Speech recognition, it has like neural network algorithms, take pieces of your audio or your voice, and then convert it into letters, and then we'll combine them into words, phrases, sentences, etc. However, for non-speech sound detection is main focus on short sounds, and you should be able to classify them very quickly.
And this is what your primary focus is on.
Yes.
This is the core of your business, which is all non-speech.
Non-speech / non-verbal sounds.
And you basically, throughout all of these years, you've improved the algorithm and the technology step by step.
Absolutely, and then we thought it's going to be only the machines who's going to produce those sounds, and then we realized that no, baby crying is also non-speech
Classified
sounds.
as non-speech.
Snoring is non-speech sounds. Coughing, sneezing, all these those sounds is non-speech.
Yeah.
So we can capture them and use them for healthy or
And throughout all of this period of time, there was no one that's actually doing this, and there was no one that was really investing in this technology, on this innovation.
Yes, we were lucky, but at the same time, this is sort of disadvantage because you need to educate people. You need to increase the awareness about that. There is a different market.
So you were saying that this was a disadvantage for you also because you were the only ones in the market, so you had to do the trial error yourself, you had to experiment yourself, you had to teach people yourself, and then a lot of this stuff.
You should, to increase the awareness that there is something you can build to capture non-speech sounds.
Yeah.
And this is mainly was focused on emergency sounds, theft alarm or smoke alarms and those kind of stuff. So it was very challenging to convince investors.
Yeah.
It sounds cool, but at the same time,
people back then didn't see the potential of how useful this technology can be.
Yeah, that's what happened. So therefore, we start looking for other use cases.
Yeah.
Especially with the human.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them it was the snoring sounds. Yeah. Myself, I snore a lot, so it's very terrible. So therefore, I decided to build an algorithm on smartphone. It's been connected to my smartwatch via Bluetooth. Once I snore, it will classify the audio and will trigger a gentle vibration patterns on my smartwatch to shift the wrong position of sleeping.
Yeah. So basically, you use this technology. Just going back to what you were saying, you use this technology, and you're talking about snoring. So can you just give us a run through on how you used and how you transformed your initial invention to something that suits people with snoring problems?
Absolutely. So we switched from capturing and classifying emergency sounds to help deaf people towards snoring sounds.
Yeah.
As snoring sounds will be considered as non-verbal, non-speech sounds because there is no spoken words actually in the sounds, and it's like consistent sounds or noise. Alongside with that, because I'm having snoring issue, so I always start with myself.
Yeah.
Let me solve my problem, and then if it's gonna work, then we're gonna expand it. So I developed this smart algorithm on the smartphone. Again, it was our own AI or machine learning able to classify and capture the snoring sounds. And once the sound has been detected and classified and confirmed this is snoring sounds, we will be sending via Bluetooth a command to your Apple Watch or Android Wear, and it will trigger the vibration gently to shift the wrong position of sleeping. So we are basically mimicking the human behavior. If your partner sleep next to you and you start snoring, basically they will hook you or like shake you.
Yeah.
So you're gonna change the wrong position of sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the main idea: is gentle vibration on your smartwatch
Okay.
through the smartphone to shift the wrong position of sleeping.
Yeah.
Of course, you might be also snore on the other side,
Yeah.
on your belly. So this is gonna be always like the process. However, number of snoring events is going to be reduced in general about 40%, which is good for you. However, we realize that during this process, talking about snoring, there is a huge part, medical part, which is the obstructive sleep apnea.
So the next thing was the obstructive sleep apnea.
So, yeah, there is. So the snoring is causing other problems, mainly sleep apnea, and there are two different types from sleep apnea. The obstructive sleep apnea, which is your tongue muscle is go back to your throat and will block the airway for about 10-12 seconds. Some people for over 1 minute, unfortunately.
Over 1 minute while they're sleeping.
Absolutely, and that is going to be the severe conditions of obstructive sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And the only solution to use CPAP. The other,
Which is very impractical.
absolutely, I mean, when you sleep is all about you get some rest. You're not being disconnected, to those devices.
Okay.
It's challenging, but unfortunately, this is the only solution apart from surgery. The other type of sleep apnea, the central sleep apnea. So when your brain has decided to stop breathing process for a while, unfortunately, we don't target this. We only target obstructive sleep apnea. So while we are capturing the snoring, there are other sounds or noises the sleeper will make during sleeping, which is the breathing patterns,
Yeah.
gasping for air. All these different events, or these events can be combined into an intelligent system will tell you, oh, you've got mild condition of sleep apnea.
Yeah.
Therefore, we're going to refer you to the GP or to the sleep clinic
Yeah.
to pursue further for other treatments.
Yeah.
So the idea is to filter out number of people they go through the sleep clinics, because not everybody should go to the sleep clinic,
Yeah.
which will cause long wait for other patients who
So
need it.
basically, your technology helped in diagnosing sleep apnea based on the patterns that you are able to detect.
Yep.
From the signals, from the sound signals, and then that way it will help reduce the patients going, and then they can just go directly to their GP and get themselves checked.
This is the first part. The second part, going to the sleep clinic, is impractical. Why? Because when you go to the sleep clinic, you are using different mattress, different pillow, different environment.
Uh-huh.
It's not your bed. It's not your room. That means you are most likely you're gonna snore more.
Yeah.
Therefore, the treatment is inaccurate.
Uh-huh.
So
That's a
we're
very
gonna give you a
interesting way
piece
to
of
look at it.
technology, use it in-house, and it's inside the same settings, the same everything, nothing changed, and it's gonna be super accurate. If you're traveling and you go to the hotel, most likely you're gonna snore more because this is not your pillow, it's maybe softer or harder,
So
thinner.
I will ask you, so my question for you will be, it's as if you are telling me that the snoring problem is not really a physical problem, but it's more of an environment problem. If you're sleeping on the wrong bed, on the wrong pillow, in the wrong place, in the wrong environment, is that what you're trying to say?
It's not 100% those environments that will impact you, but it will help, or it will trigger or increase the snoring events while sleeping. Of course, there are other stuff that will cause this. If you are tired, if you are traveling, if you have like a bad day or tough day, if you are smoking or you take like lots of other medications might impact you. But in general, if we gonna assess this patient, the same patient in his house is different when inside the sleep clinic.
Right.
There will be it's inaccurate. So you might have mild conditions of sleep apnea if you are inside your house.
Right.
If I take you to the sleep clinic, you might have severe conditions.
Ah.
Therefore, they will treat you with a CPAP, but actually you don't need CPAP.
So how were you able to also use all of these things and provide them as a solution to the patients? Was it through hospitals and through GPs?
So when we start studying the approach of the patient, basically the pathway to reach to the doctor is your GP. So you're gonna phone your GP and you're gonna tell them, okay, I've got issue with the sleep apnea. Can please refer me to like secondary healthcare or the sleep clinic?
Yeah.
And then what would they will tell you? Okay, are you smoking? Are you taking alcohol? Etc. Those like questionnaires, and then they will refer you to the sleep clinic, which unfortunately might take up to 2 years to get this appointment. So by that time, you might have your health will be like, being impacted because you've got this every night. You don't have efficient day. You can't be more productive. So this kind of things will impact your life for the next 2 years because you are waiting for your appointment. However, with this solution, we'll speed up the process. We will tell you 100% you've got sleep apnea. We will not treat you, but we will tell you this indication so you might find another, solution meanwhile.
Okay, so going back to how the company started. So first you started off, you were resolving your own problems, and then the other use case was basically resolve other people's problem, and now we're talking specifically about deaf people. Then you moved to the snoring one.
And there's a baby crying for parents as well.
Yeah.
To alert them when their baby is crying.
So basically you were using your technology and you were also, let's say, innovating and developing different types of sounds. So it wasn't just only machine sounds, it was also could be human sounds.
Yep.
So you use that for babies and you use that for other things. All right, so what were the other more interesting use cases that started developing after this?
Security and safety problems. Let me start off with graffiti problems. Graffiti problem. All of us sees this graffiti on walls and we find
I actually like them.
I mean, there's good graffiti and there's bad graffiti as well. So there's some offensive graffiti, unfortunately, which need to be removed as soon as possible. So when we start analyzing this problems, the only solution in the market is CCTV surveillance cameras. However, those cameras, they are lacking of hearing sense. So they can see, but they can't hear. Therefore, we start analyzing that, okay, the graffiti event, it's combined with like some noises. So imagine that you are holding this graffiti can. First thing you're gonna do,
so again, basically you were doing machine learning.
We're still doing machine learning.
We're still doing, so you were doing, even from day one, from 2009, you were doing machine learning.
Machine learning based on audio, only on audio. We don't use any other sort of data or any other sensor. So it was the microphone was the first point of sensing technology to capture those events.
Okay. So going back to what you were saying, so you started teaching the machines on how to detect
the graffiti,
the graffiti sounds, which is the
shaking sound. So the first thing you're going to do, you shake the graffiti, and then you start spray. So okay, shake is a loud noise where you can capture it. It's not difficult. It's easy to capture, and also you have the spray sounds, and you can place the sensors everywhere and you can capture this event.
Why bother with so much technology for such a problem?
You will be surprised from this statistic. In the UK, the government spend over £1 billion every year to clean up the graffiti.
£1 billion every year to clean up the graffiti. To clean up the graffiti.
And the graffiti, it's harmful for the environment. Not only this, when you spray or you paint the graffiti, but also the cleaning process, it's harmful because they use a strong chemical to get rid of the graffiti, you know, and therefore those will get into the soil and then it will be impacted and you can't do anything with this land. You know, this process is really complicated and it's gonna take time. And the problem is when you clean if you ask someone your contractor to clean the graffiti, believe it or not, we have some sites. The graffiti people, the gangs will come next day to do the graffiti again. So it's this endless loop. You're not gonna solve the problem. So through the audio, we will not only capture the graffiti sounds, but also to understand the behavior of those people.
Yeah.
How are you gonna understand it? So when they come, what they usually do the graffiti, what the message they need to deliver.
Yeah.
So based on those stuff, we know that we have some sort of another algorithm will predict when the graffiti is gonna do the graffiti, on which assets and when. I will give you an example. So the example of we can tell the client early prediction of this.
But how on earth are you gonna predict it?
We had cameras on site for more than 12 months, recording the graffiti people, not just observing their behavior.
Yes.
When usually they come, which season, and which asset they always focus on. One of the interesting things is they coming to when they know there is a new train is coming. Let's say, for example, this railway operator company, they bought this new train and is going to be starting the service tomorrow. They know this piece of information. They will be the first people who start doing the graffiti on this because they need to. I think they
mark their territory.
Exactly.
So basically, it's like a cat. When a cat pees in a corner and it marks its territory, very similar.
That's exactly a good example. Yeah. So this is what happened. So this kind of stuff, I mean, alongside with the season and Christmas time is always busy for them, especially in London, underground, do graffiti and they run quickly. And then we start studying, okay, how long this event is gonna take? And then we take this further. Is this offensive graffiti or normal graffiti? Because usually, if it's offensive graffiti, you have to clean it up within 24, 48 hours.
Why?
You can't make it so long because it's offensive. I mean, it might be against the government or it's political.
Free
graffiti,
Palestine.
something like that.
Yeah.
So you have to clean it up as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Therefore, the system will not only hear the graffiti, but it's also will read the graffiti, which is very challenging. There is no such an algorithm will tell you this is offensive or is this normal graffiti, you know. I love graffiti, but it should be in a specific, I mean, in certain locations where it's been allowed to people to show this art. The first use case it was the railway industry. Why? Because graffiti, it would be treated as antisocial behavior and also as a trespass event.
Okay.
In order to do the graffiti, you have to trespass the railway. Trespassing is prohibited in the UK. That means that will cause delay, cancellation for the train. Therefore, you are having another problem, which is the trespassing. And those people, they don't mind to put their lives under risk. They can do this graffiti on high bridges, and they can do it on railway. And unfortunately, there are lots of incidents happens because of these people. They don't care, you know. Simply they don't care. So going back to the technology, it won't only capture the graffiti and alert the police or the control room, but it also will try to deter these individuals.
Okay.
How? We have a visual and audible alarm, and those are dynamic, okay? So what does it mean? On the graffiti sensor, we've got a camera and a microphone. When someone coming to do the graffiti, we study their behavior. We trigger the first set of alarm, which is, let's say, for example, is going to be a police siren with yellow or white flashing lights.
Yeah.
If they don't respond, that means we have to change the patterns.
Yeah.
We're going to play dog barking louder.
Yeah.
And use blue flashing lights.
Yeah.
Or blue and red. If not, we will play a spoken messages from a police officer.
Yeah.
Says this property or this area is prohibited to access. What happened is we play we trigger the alarm system and observe through the camera, which is exactly as a human what you do usually to stop someone is doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You shout. If not, you raise your voice and you do something with your hands. You know, you do. You try to be dynamic, and this is what we're trying to achieve. Not only to randomly playing an alarm that you used to hear and then you continue doing what you're doing, but it's also to try to be more efficient, to use such a system to scare those people and they can leave immediately.
And so it actually works? It actually scares them? They run away once
we did this experiments in average, we were able to deter those people within 8 minutes.
Within 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we've tested the solution with National Highways, which is like the company who is operating motorway environment in the England. And we've got big problems with the graffiti under the bridges, unfortunately. And therefore we start putting those sensors and deterring them within 8 minutes was the solution. What does that mean? That means if they will do the graffiti. We can't stop it 100%, but they will do small piece of graffiti. They can't continue. Therefore, cleaning process is less, cost, saving cost, time. You know, there are like lots of stuff will be beneficial for the government.
But don't they see the sensors?
What we do, the trick is to, normally we hide the sensor inside the brick. So this the brick. I mean, it's completely fine. It's like you can't feel it. There's a small hole where we have the microphone and everything.
Yeah.
We are lucky. We are using edge processing, so that means we are running on batteries. So you don't need any wires. No one will notice this sensor.
Okay.
And we've got the other procedure as well and the methodology to hide the sensor. If you have a light column, we're gonna paint it to be same color as the light column, etc. So the system worked very well.
Wow.
And what is the innovation? Not only the sound detection, is understanding the behavior of those people in order to to minimize this problem.
So we're talking now about the technology of sound, but is smell also included in this?
Well, you will be surprised that we built artificial nose that able to smell not only the graffiti, other.
You built an artificial nose?
Artificial nose, which is basically mimicking how a human breathing or smell system is work. Basically, is a small fan, extractor fan, then we'll take this, you know, from the atmosphere, all this smell, and take it inside a little device which will analyze the graffiti. It was a big problem for us because every manufacturer, they have different way how the ingredients, of the graffiti is not always similar.
Yeah.
So you have to teach the system or the algorithm the different smell, different paint, either the pen. Sometimes they do some, vandalism inside the train as well, or buses. They do this different vandalism. So we used an intelligent system that has a 3 sensor fusion. So smell, hear, and see. Let's say if it's dark environment, we can't rely on vision. We're gonna use the smell and the noise of the graffiti. If it's loud and dark, we're gonna rely on the smell. If it's windy or foggy, you can't rely on smell, you're gonna rely on noise and image. So this dynamic system, we call it AI context aware. It's gonna be like same as a human brain. Will decide which sense I'm gonna use in these environments.
So this means that now I'm thinking of another problem, is that you can easily use this to detect, for example, drugs, weed that are being smuggled through the airport, or through the customs, or through land, or even bombs.
Absolutely.
Bombs, like the smell of the powder that's used in bombs.
Right? Imagine this X-ray machine at the airport. When you put your luggage, there will be these smell sensors around.
Wow. And
simply, you don't need to have a dog to bring it to smell it. It will tell you that there is something inside, just from the smell.
But I think was this technology already there?
There is no such a technology as a smell technology to capture the smell. But you have to teach it to capture those smell or this kind of scent,
Okay.
And if you need to take this further, the idea is to mimic the smells system from dogs and cats.
Okay.
I remember my cat, when I opened the tuna can, if she's, I don't know, like 40 meters away, she will be able to smell the tuna.
Yeah.
We are trying to study the smell system. I don't know how to name it, but from the cats and dogs.
I have an interesting idea. So say, for example, in a very dangerous neighborhood, and a lot of crimes, for example, I don't know, let's pick Chicago. There's a lot of gang violence in Chicago, and maybe a lot of shootings would happen, right? If, let's say, and obviously, CCTV, you cannot record forever because it's very, it's a lot of memory, it's very impractical. practical. So let's say your sensors detect the gunshot sounds from the gun. And once it's detected, these cameras work, they're on, and then maybe they create a perimeter where at least all the cameras will be on, or tell the police that, you know, a crime occurred in this perimeter, just go quickly to that place. Can this be done?
Yeah, absolutely. We have the same use case for graffiti system in London, and this system is
So similar.
similar, which connect. So we've got 34 cameras and sound sensors. Once the graffiti detected, we're able to track this individual. So all the cameras will talk to each other, so we know where. First of all, what is the entry access point, and where this guy is jumped. I mean, or like, you know, exited from the site. Such a system, it will help the police to identify the issue, to build a higher fence, or to know where is the weakness, you know, points in the train station or on any assets, you know.
All right, so now we're talking about humans and we're talking about the sounds done by them. But let's move on to other use cases, machines, animals. I'm very curious to see how this was adopted in that. Like machines from like engines or...
Yeah, so that's completely right. So what happened while we are developing the snoring detection, we met Citroën and Peugeot in Paris. They heard about our technology, and they said, guys, we have a huge audio database from our vehicles. We've been collecting this since 1980s, and we had this imagination that we're able to listen to the machine and tell us what the problems inside
to
the
the
vehicles.
engine, you mean?
To the engine, your exhaust system, gearbox, braking system, everything. And then we said, yes, let's do it. So they shared with us a huge audio database for different audio, and we were able to capture very interesting stuff. So we know, for example, if we hear you, so it's going to be, you know, this mechanic, the mechanic guy, this expert will come to you and put his ear on your bonnet and listen to the audio. It's like, you know, same as a doctor when has this stethoscope and listen to your chest.
Yeah.
We did something similar. You hold your smartphone and you just touch it to the bonnet, and it will tell you what is the problem in your vehicle.
Oh, wow.
This is the idea. However, we face lots of challenges. That is not practical because every vehicle has their own sound. We name it, we call it signatures.
Yeah.
Therefore, you have to train the system on your specific vehicle, your only vehicle. This is the engine size. This is the fuel being used.
So there were a lot of variables.
Exactly. But therefore, we studied, that means we can go into better market, which is railway industry. There's a huge problem on bearing damage in the railway, and loads of incidents happen because of overheat bearing.
So you're talking about the wheel bearings?
The wheel bearings, yeah, and with the braking system or like any other issues. Therefore, we start studying, okay, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna tackle the problems of those of this industry?
So continue what you were telling me about Renault, and what were you able, you said that it was a little bit impractical to, because each car has its own, or there are a lot of variables and each car has its own signature sound, etc.
Yeah, so we realized that this market is too early to target.
Okay.
Let's move to another market where it's easy to investigate about the audio coming from the machine or whatever. And it was the railway. So the trains has the bearing damage problems.
Bearing, yes.
You've got the braking system damage. You've got the defects on the track, on the railway, and wide range of other stuff.
So you were able to use the sound detection technology to help in predicting possible malfunction with the railways and with the wheel bearings before the damage occurs.
Absolutely. But before talking about this, we realized that the machine, they start crying before failure. So how crying? They will produce ultrasonic frequencies.
Yeah.
That as a human we can't hear.
Yeah.
However, they are warning us.
So the machines the machines generate ultrasonic sounds
before they actually fail. When the fail will start, when they will start having sort of the machine, the engine will start vibrate. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, when you look to your fan or your motor, if it's operating fine, it's that there is no, it's just completely normal. There is no audio. It's not shaking. When we start shaking, then that means it's started the failure process, and then you have to replace this engine, this pump, etc. What we do is we listen to the engine or to the machine. If we start hearing this abnormal sounds or noise, we tell the owner, yes, you please to stop using this machine. You have to fix it. It might be overload. It might be electrical issue, something like that. But we're gonna be able to alert the owner for this machine.
And how how big was the damage or the issues caused by this? Like, was it costing the insurance companies or the railway companies a lot of money?
I mean, it can lead to a huge accident, unfortunately.
I mean, apart from accidents.
You have to stop using this train. You have to take it out of the service for maintenance. It might cost 50,000, sometimes 80,000 pounds to solve the problem. It really depends on the issue, you know. But when you are giving this the technology to the train operator companies, peace of mind, not only for the train operator company, because the system is based on acoustics classification. So we will be able to capture all these noises, not only from the train. The interesting part is going to be also detecting the defects on the railway. So what we did is we used the train as a movable sensor to investigate the problems also on the track. So when the train wheel is passing through the defects, cracks on the railway, that will generate an audio signature. We will hear it back. Because the system is all built on metal, so the audio, the noise will be traveling from the track towards the sensor on the train. We'll be able to capture, okay, now you have a damaged track on somewhere in the middle of the route. Then we'll send it to the train operator companies or the railway operator company to fix it quickly. But the good thing is we can predict. See, that means you can prevent the problems. We are not waiting till the end. Usually what the acoustic it will be useful for, it will tell you in general 3 weeks before the vibration that happened. I mean, if you have a fan and we capture the acoustic or abnormal signal, that means within the next 3 weeks you might have a shaking fan or like a bump. You will start having this failure. So you don't need to replace it with the audio signal, with the audio detection.
With this really great advancement in technology, have you been approached by, I mean, you mentioned Renault and I think, who was it? Renault, and what was the other car company? Peugeot. Oh, Peugeot, basically. But which other like big names or big corporations, what other big names or big corporations have reached out?
In the railway industry, there is London Midland operator, LNER, which we are currently having a big project with them, which I'm going to talk shortly about it. HS2, which is the high-speed train in England, and Network Rail, which is the public company which is to maintaining the railway in England.
But no technology companies so far, like, I don't know, maybe like Alexa, Apple? Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. We've got like few competitors, they're using vibration sensors, but it's impractical to capture this audio because obviously you have this machine that means is being failed. So you have to rely on something to predict earlier. But there's no technology companies, they approach us for this.
So what about sound detection when it comes to animals? So I am interested in seeing, because I am sure that you, and from what I remember, you also mentioned something about deers.
Yes. So that's true. So as you know, we start tackling the human problems, machine problems, and then realize, oh, there's animal problems. Since we've been working with the railway industry, and we noticed there are lots of issues with delay cancellation, delay, or like, you know, this kind of stuff, trespassing. We've been doing research on animals, and we realized that there is a huge problem on deer. So basically the deer is jumping on the track to cross the other side of the railway. The problem with the railway is cutting the woods into two pieces, you know. And if the deer is live on this side and his food on this side, he should pass. He should trespass the railway to go to the other side. Therefore, they will find any, you know, blind spots or like poor fencing and jump over and then go to the other side. So we want it is normal behaviors to go to their habitat. So what causing this problem? Deer strike. So this is a huge problem in the UK. The train is simply hit the deer, and that means the deers die, and the train require maintenance. The train will stop, and all the service behind this train will get delay, which is going to be costing a lot. The railway company will pay £500 every 1 minute delay.
Wow.
So let's say, for example, if there's like 33 minutes, they will pay them £10,000.
Yeah.
So there's a huge problem on this. Other than the cost, the animal life, and the delay, is satisfaction from the customer, the passenger as well. So it's a complex problem. So in order to fix it, it's not only to build, is building high fence. It's very expensive, and you don't need to stop this deer to go to their other side of their family or their food. So what we have built a sensor that has a AI camera, and with acoustic sensors, we capture the deer. If the deer is trying to approach the fence, we will trigger a dynamic alarm system, visual and audible alarm, to deter them quickly. Since installation 13 months ago, we have 0 strike after installing the sensors. Usually we have 9 to 10 on this side. We're able to deter up to 4,700 deer.
Wow. So the insurance companies must love you.
I think so.
Because I'm sure that you with this technology,
passengers, they like us, rail operating company, everybody is very interested with this technology.
Yeah.
And the interesting part is not only deterring the deer, but also to allow them to cross the other side when there is no train.
Yeah.
So we know the train schedule. So if we know that between 12 a.m. and 12:30 there will be no train, we will disarm the system in order to allow the deer to cross the other side, and then we arm the system again.
Amazing.
So you give them a free movements.
Yeah.
You know, at the same time, of course, we.
So now you're also managing the traffic for the deers also.
Yeah, it's like pedestrian. Yeah, it's like a traffic light. And also we teach them to cross. In order to cross safely to the other side, you use the tunnels, bridges.
Oh wow.
And we noticed that the behavior been changed recently, which is good. I mean, teaching deer, we know cats, we know dogs, but deer as well.
Yeah.
They understand this alarm will be triggered, then let's go to the bridge.
Yeah.
So this kind of things is good to understand the behavior of them.
So where do you see all of this technology? So now with all of these use cases that you mentioned to us, where do you see this technology going, and what's the future for your company? What exciting projects are coming up?
I would say if we are able to build an acoustic system that's able to replace our hearing system to improve safety, security, and comfort, this is what we are looking for.
Yeah.
And the system is able to make decisions accurately on emergency sounds around us or any concerning sounds. To improve our life, you know, this is, I think, where we are looking for. I mean, it's also to be able to operate or run this acoustic detections algorithms on small devices.
Yeah.
That you can just throw the sensor somewhere, and then it will able to act as you know, as an extra ear for you inside your house, inside your car, everywhere.
Yeah. What do you feel is the main obstacle or the main obstacles that are facing young Arab entrepreneurs? I mean, I know that our region is full of amazing, smart, great people. But what do you think is the main issue now that is facing Arab entrepreneurs, and not just Arab entrepreneurs, inventors, scientists, everything? Because I know you have a patent, right, for all of your...
Yeah, we've got 9 different patents for protecting the audio classification system.
Okay.
And it has different use cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just going back to the question, what do you think is the main issue or the main obstacles and challenging facing Arab entrepreneurs and scientists or innovators?
There are couple of challenges. One of them, the funding. Looking for investment, it's always challenging process because without money, you can't build this prototype, you can't reach customers, you can't, operate the company simply. Having just a registered company, that doesn't mean that, okay, you're gonna build the product and then you're gonna have customers. No, the logistics stuff is easy. So I think funding is one of the main obstacles. The second one, building the right team. Building the right team is important element to be successful.
And this is hard in the Arab world, in your opinion? Because
I would
of
say
maybe
this
lack
is
of
global challenges, not only in the Arab world, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But let's focus on the Arab world, is basically the market in Middle East is different than in Europe or in the States. It depends on the needs, it depends on the interests of people. So if your idea or product is their market in Europe, you can't just simply go to Middle East.
Yeah.
For example, let's talk about the deer deterrence, our system. It's not possible to do it in Dubai simply for railway, because railway is in the city. You don't have deer, but you might do it for camels on the motorway.
Yeah.
So we have to change, the system. We have to customize it or to modify it in a way to target this market. So building a solution in a different in a different countries, you have to study this market first, and when is the best market to kick off this device. For us it was deaf and hard of hearing big problems in England. They are 16% of the population, they have hearing problems. Therefore this is the right market. But I can't start it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So,
but if we just had to focus on the Arab market, you would say it's a lack of funding. But what about, do you feel like the science and technology, do you feel like the brain power is there, the innovation, do you feel like it's available?
Absolutely, yeah. There are very talented people in our area that able to do very innovative solutions, I believe.
Yeah, especially, I speak on behalf of our people, Syrians. You're Syrian, I'm Syrian, and I personally believe that most of the Syrians, when they immigrate, and especially after the war, a vast majority of them did very well for themselves and really accomplished great things in the respective areas or respective countries that they're in.
Yeah, so having the talent is important in this game, but you can't rely on it 100%.
You need an ecosystem, you need funding, you need the institutions that allow and accelerate and incubate.
You need the market to exist already, and as you say, the investors. Accelerator program is really important. If there is no accelerator program, it's hard to get the business support you needed.
Yeah.
The majority of startups also fail focusing on one part of the innovation, which is this technical part. I faced this challenge personally, and I was mainly focused on technical part. How to get this product the best in the shape, accuracy level, in terms of false positive, I have to reduce it to very minimum level. But that wasn't the main concern. It's about the customers as well. Who's going to buy this product if you haven't done your job, or your homework on researching the market, or maybe the customers won't need this.
Yeah.
So it's a mix between business activities and technical part.
Yeah.
You don't need to focus on one part. If you have a team, you have to split between business, and you have to spend the same time on money on the business part as the technical part.
Yeah.
What is the benefits if you have a great solution, great product, and you have zero customers?
Nice. So what would be the last message that you would have for anybody that has interesting innovation or an interesting idea and he's planning on really making a business out of it? What would you say, what would be the first advice that you would give him?
Well, based on my personal experience, I hear lots of motivated startups. They start their ideas, they start looking for funding. First of all, research about the market you're going to target. Do your research and don't just blindly go build the solution. Oh, that's great, let's do cancer detection sensor, for example, or a sensor that smells if the dog is sick or not. Don't go randomly with your ideas before. Just do your research, knows your market, search for your competitors, this is the main thing you have to do, because a lot of startups, they start their innovation and they never, investigate about their competitors.
Yeah.
They will end up after 2 years, 3 years. Oh, there is a company that is do exactly what we are doing, 100%. Therefore, that's simply they're gonna fail. So, research and do on the patents, on the market, this kind of stuff is really important to be successful. This is one of the mistakes I did it in the past, and I was able to overcome with this after 2 years. Changing your products, looking for your customers, that is, and design it for your customers, not design it based on your research. You have to get in touch with customers, understand their pain, and if they are willing to buy, because it sounds very attractive, you've got this, you are for solving critical problems, but if they are willing to pay or not, this is important. Even if it's cheaper than others in the market, they might not to change what they are using already. So there are lots of things you have to take in consideration to be successful.
So basically just have a very calculated approach, and where you study the market very well before you get into it.
And don't leave your job before you having enough saving. Let's say for 24 months, building your product, building your small team, and then you start, waiting for customers or investors. You should be aware of this. It's very challenging. It's different routes, and it's not straight, so it's going to be up and down always. But believe it or not, at the end, you're not going to regret it. This is because what you like, and your business will going to grow. And at the end, this is what you like.
So don't leave your job unless you have 24 months worth of.
I mean, it depends on the solution.
But I mean,
but
for whoever is watching this. Anwar, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Great podcast, great view, great weather.
Nice.
I'm very happy to have you. And again, this was just very unexpected, but I thought, why not? We could do it. We have the mics, we have everything. Why not?
Yeah, thank you very much. My pleasure. It was great opportunity to be in your podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.